Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, today I want to talk about the beautiful dance between reason and passion. The two wings of the soul that Khalil Gibran so poetically described. In his timeless words, "Your reason and your passion are the rudder and the sails of your seafaring soul. If either your sails or your rudder be broken, you can but toss and drift. Reason is the light that guides us, but passion is the fire that drives us. Without reason, passion can become reckless, and without passion, reason can grow cold and lifeless." Gibran reminds us that true balance in life comes when the mind and the heart walk side by side, when our dreams are anchored in wisdom and our logic is warmed by love. Let your soul exalt your reason to the height of passion, that it may sing. He says, calling us to live fully, not by suppressing one for the other, but by uniting them as one force that shapes our destiny. For in the harmony of reason and passion lies the fullness of our humanity, the courage to act, and the clarity to choose the right path, even when the seas are stormy. Reason and passion are like rudder and sails. Both are essential for a purposeful journey in life. Without one, the other cannot truly fulfill its purpose. The rudder of reason gives direction, stability, and control to the voyage of our lives, ensuring that we are not carried aimlessly by every gust of wind or sudden wave. It allows us to navigate through challenges with a sense of clarity, weighing our decisions carefully and making sure that our actions align with our values and goals. Reason is the tool that helps us interpret the world logically, evaluate consequences, and maintain focus when emotions threaten to cloud our vision. It is what stops us from being swept away in a rush of impulse, guiding us to take the right course, even when temptation pulls us toward risky or destructive choices. On the other hand, the sails of passion are what propel us forward. They catch the winds of desire, dreams, and inspiration, driving us toward our aspirations with energy and enthusiasm. Without passion, life becomes stagnant. A ship with a rudder but no wind, motionless in the middle of the ocean. Passion breathes life into our ambitions. It makes us wake up in the morning eager to pursue something meaningful. It fuels creativity, perseverance, and resilience. It is passion that makes us take risks for the sake of growth, to push beyond comfort zones, and to dedicate ourselves fully to what we believe in. When the sails are full and strong, they carry us toward destinations that reason alone might hesitate to approach. Khalil Gibran understood that the magic of life lies not in choosing one over the other, but in letting them work together in harmony. A ship with sails but no rudder may fly across the sea with great speed, but it will be at the mercy of the winds, drifting toward unknown or dangerous shores. A ship with a rudder but no sails might stay on course, but it will barely move, wasting away in still waters. In the same way, a life driven only by reason might be safe, structured, and calculated, yet lack the passion that brings joy, adventure, and fulfillment. Conversely, A life driven only by passion may be vibrant and exciting, but without the guidance of reason, it risks burning out too quickly or crashing into unforeseen obstacles. The interplay between reason and passion is evident in every great endeavor. Think of an artist. Passion fuels the creation, the bold strokes of color, the vision of beauty. But reason helps refine the technique, balance the composition, and bring the vision into reality. Think of an entrepreneur. Passion drives the idea, the sleepless nights, the willingness to take risks. But reason guides the strategy, manages the resources, and ensures the dream can survive and grow. Even in relationships, passion creates the spark, the emotional connection, and the shared dreams, while reason nurtures trust, communication, and understanding that allow the bond to endure over time. Reason and passion are not meant to be in competition, they are complementary forces. One offers the blueprint, the other supplies the energy. One guards us from making hasty decisions in the heat of the moment. The other pushes us to take the leap when fear would otherwise hold us back. Together, they create a rhythm in life, moments of steady progress and moments of thrilling acceleration. This balance is what allows us to live fully without losing ourselves in chaos or monotony. When we ignore reason and rely solely on passion, our journey may feel exciting but can quickly become unstable. We might chase every new idea without finishing what we start, jump into commitments without preparation, or act on emotion without considering the consequences. Likewise, when we ignore passion and live only by reason, our days may feel safe but lifeless, filled with routines and calculated steps that never allow us to truly dream or take meaningful risks. Both extremes rob us of the richness life has to offer. To live with both reason and passion is to embrace the idea that life is not simply about getting from one point to another, but about navigating the journey with purpose and vitality. The rudder and sails must work together, each respecting the other's role. Reason can assess the winds of passion, deciding when to catch them and when to hold back, while passion can challenge reason to step beyond what feels comfortable or certain. This is the way we move forward with both confidence and excitement, knowing that our path is guided but also alive with possibility. Would you like me to now expand keynote no. 2 in the same style? Reason without passion becomes cold. Passion without reason becomes reckless. Reason on its own can become a rigid framework, a calculated and precise machine that functions with efficiency but lacks the warmth and vibrancy that make life meaningful. It can analyze, measure, and predict outcomes with accuracy, but it does not feel the rush of inspiration or the joy of pursuing something deeply personal. Without passion, reason can trap us in a world of caution, hesitation, and overthinking, where every decision is weighed so heavily that action becomes slow or even stagnant. It might keep us safe from mistakes, but it also keeps us from experiencing the depth of life's emotions and the thrill of chasing our dreams. A life built on reason alone may look orderly and logical, but it can often feel hollow, as though something essential is missing from its core. Passion, on the other hand, is the beating heart of our ambitions. It burns with a fire that can light up the darkest moments and push us forward when reason says it is too risky or impossible. Passion gives us courage, spontaneity, and the ability to dream beyond the boundaries of what seems practical. It inspires great art, bold inventions, and acts of deep compassion. But when passion operates without reason, it can lead to impulsive actions, poor judgment, and consequences that might harm us or others. It can cause us to chase illusions, jump into commitments we are unprepared for, or burn ourselves out in the pursuit of something without considering the cost. In its raw form, untempered by reason, passion can be like a wildfire. It spreads quickly, burns brightly, but without control. It can destroy as easily as it can inspire. The beauty lies in the marriage of these two forces. Reason gives passion a path, a structure, and a strategy. Passion gives reason life, movement, and emotional power. One without the other creates imbalance. An excess of logic drains the color from our experiences, while an excess of emotion clouds our judgment and blinds us to the reality of consequences. When reason and passion work together, they create a life that is both vibrant and grounded, both inspired and wise. In the stories of great achievers, you often see this balance at play. A scientist fueled purely by reason may make accurate observations, but without passion, they may lack the curiosity and persistence to push boundaries and explore the unknown. Conversely, a dreamer with pure passion may have extraordinary visions, but without reason, they may fail to turn those visions into tangible results. The innovators who change the world, the leaders who inspire, the artists whose work endures, they blend the careful planning of reason with the driving force of passion. This principle applies in personal growth as well. When facing challenges, passion can give us the motivation to keep moving forward even when the road is difficult, but reason ensures we take steps that lead us in the right direction. In relationships, passion creates emotional connection and excitement, but reason nurtures trust, understanding, and stability. In careers, passion drives us to aim higher and embrace new opportunities, while reason ensures we build sustainable paths that prevent burnout and failure. Reason without passion can make us cautious to the point of missing opportunities. It can make us choose comfort over growth, routine over adventure. It might keep us safe, but it also keeps us small. Passion without reason can make us leap before we look, overcommit our energy, or follow ideas that lead to regret. It may give us stories to tell, but also lessons learned the hard way. The sweet spot is where reason channels passion's energy toward meaningful, well-considered goals, and passion challenges reason to dream bigger and take bolder steps. Balancing the two requires self-awareness. We must learn to recognize when our passion is pulling us too far into recklessness And when our reason is holding us back in unnecessary fear, it means being honest with ourselves about our motivations, our risks, and our goals. It means allowing ourselves to feel deeply and dream boldly, while also taking the time to plan, prepare, and navigate the challenges that come our way. This is not a static balance, but a dynamic one, shifting depending on the moment. Sometimes leaning more on passion to give us the push we need, and at other times relying more on reason to keep us grounded. Would you like me to continue with keynote? No three in the same tone and length. Passion fuels dreams, while reason gives them structure and direction. Passion is the spark that ignites the vision, the surge of energy that makes us believe that something extraordinary is possible even before we see any proof. It is the excitement that makes us lose track of time while working toward a goal, the determination that keeps us pushing forward when obstacles seem insurmountable, and the hope that whispers to us when the world is silent. Without passion, dreams are like seeds left in dry soil, unable to grow because there is no water to nourish them. Passion gives those seeds life, encouraging them to sprout and reach for the sun, no matter how long the journey may take. Reason, on the other hand, is the architect of the dream. It steps in to build the foundation, create the plan, and design the steps that turn an idea into reality. Reason examines resources, considers timing, and anticipates challenges so that passion's energy is not wasted. Without reason, passion might send us running in circles, pouring our energy into actions that do not move us closer to our goal. Reason ensures that the dream is not just vivid in our imagination, but also achievable in the real world. It provides the structure that gives passion's fire a clear direction to burn toward. When passion and reason work together, the results are powerful. Passion dares us to dream big, while reason helps us take the right steps to get there. Passion says, "I will do whatever it takes," and reason replies, "Here's the smartest way to do it." This partnership transforms vague ambitions into focused missions. The dream becomes more than just a wish. It becomes a plan in motion, guided by vision and anchored by strategy. Think of an artist inspired to create a masterpiece. Passion provides the drive to paint, to express, to pour emotion onto the canvas. Reason organizes the process, ensures the choice of materials is suitable, balances the composition, and refines the technique so that the emotion is communicated clearly. Or think of an athlete aiming for a championship. Passion fuels the intense training and sacrifices, while reason creates the workout schedule, diet plan, and recovery strategies to ensure peak performance at the right time. In both cases, passion is the fuel, but reason is the map. Passion without reason can cause us to burn out. We might throw ourselves into a dream without pacing our energy, spending everything we have too quickly. We might take unnecessary risks, overlooking potential pitfalls until they become major setbacks. Similarly, reason without passion can lead to a lack of motivation. We might have a perfectly detailed plan, but no emotional drive to follow through, leaving the dream to collect dust on a shelf. It is only when the two are combined that progress is steady, focused, and meaningful. The beauty of this balance is that it works in cycles. Passion inspires reason to act, and reason's success fuels more passion. Every small victory achieved through structured action reignites the emotional fire, which in turn motivates further effort. This creates momentum, a forward moving force that keeps us engaged in the journey for the long term. Without that momentum, even the most promising dreams can fade into the background of life's responsibilities and distractions. In many ways, passion and reason also protect each other. Passion keeps reason from becoming overly cautious, from holding us back in fear of failure or uncertainty. It pushes us to take bold steps when logic alone might convince us to stay still. Reason keeps passion from acting impulsively, from chasing every fleeting idea without discernment. It asks the questions that passion sometimes overlooks. Is this the best use of your energy? Is there a smarter way to achieve this? What will this decision mean in the long run? In the pursuit of dreams, there will always be moments of doubt, difficulty, and delay. Passion is what makes us hold on when things get hard, reminding us why we started in the first place. Reason is what helps us adapt when plans change, showing us how to adjust our path without abandoning the destination. Together, they allow us to face challenges with both determination and intelligence, making the dream not just possible but sustainable. Do you want me to go ahead with keynote No.5 in the same expanded style and tone? True wisdom comes from balancing the mind's clarity with the heart's fire. The mind's clarity is what allows us to see the truth beyond illusions, to separate fact from fiction, and to understand the consequences of our choices before we act. It is the light that shines on our path, revealing where each step will lead and helping us navigate through uncertainty with a sense of control and awareness. Clarity of mind is not just intelligence or knowledge. It is the ability to think objectively, free from the fog of impulsive emotions or external pressures. It allows us to make decisions with purpose and foresight, ensuring that we do not wander aimlessly, but move toward goals that genuinely matter. Yet the mind's clarity alone is not enough to make life rich and meaningful. Without the heart's fire, clarity can become sterile, overly cautious, and disconnected from the deeper emotions that give our existence flavor and joy. The heart's fire is the passion that fuels our dreams, the emotional force that compels us to act, to care, to create, and to love deeply. It is what inspires us to take risks in the name of something we believe in, to endure hardships because the outcome is worth it, and to pour ourselves fully into the moments that matter most. The heart's fire gives us the energy to chase after what we truly want, even when reason alone might suggest a safer, quieter path. When these two forces are in harmony, wisdom emerges. The mind ensures that our passion is directed toward pursuits that are worthwhile and sustainable, while the heart ensures that our clarity does not trap us in a life of sterile logic and safe choices. True wisdom recognizes that neither cold calculation nor unbridled emotion can lead to a fully realized life on its own. It understands that a decision can be logically sound but still wrong for the soul, or emotionally satisfying but ultimately destructive. Wisdom, therefore, is the art of blending the two, letting the mind guide the heart, and the heart inspire the mind. History offers countless examples of people who embodied this balance. Leaders who inspired nations often had the clarity to see the challenges ahead, but also the fire to rally people to a cause greater than themselves. Artists and inventors whose work has endured through generations paired the discipline of thought with the passion of creation. In everyday life, those who make wise choices are not necessarily the ones who avoid risk entirely, nor the ones who throw themselves blindly into passion, but those who can weigh a situation with a clear mind and still follow the pull of their heart when it truly matters. This balance is not fixed. It shifts according to the demands of the moment. In times of crisis, clarity of mind might take the lead, ensuring that emotions do not cloud critical decisions. In times of opportunity, the heart's fire might take the lead, urging us to seize the moment before it passes. The key is knowing when to let one take precedence over the other without losing sight of their partnership. It is much like a dance, where sometimes the mind leads and sometimes the heart does, but both remain in step with each other. The difficulty many face is leaning too heavily on one side. Those who rely only on the mind may avoid deep emotional risks, missing opportunities to experience profound joy, connection, and meaning. They may live lives of order and structure, but struggle to feel truly alive. Those who rely only on the heart may live passionately, but find themselves repeatedly hurt, disappointed, or lost because they did not pause to see the bigger picture or anticipate the consequences. Wisdom comes in knowing that both sides are necessary and that neither should overpower the other for long. To cultivate this balance, one must practice listening to both the head and the heart in decision making. This means asking the mind what is rational, fair, and sustainable, while also asking the heart what feels meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with our deepest values. It is in the intersection of these answers that wise choices are found. This practice is not always easy because the head and the heart do not always speak the same language, and at times their answers may conflict. But the process of reconciling these differences sharpens our understanding of ourselves and the path we wish to take. Would you like me to move straight to keynote no. Point 4 in the same style and length? Suppressing either reason or passion limits the fullness of our humanity. We are beings made not just of thought or feeling alone, but of the intricate interplay between the two. Reason allows us to process, analyze, and navigate the world with clarity, while passion allows us to experience it with depth, intensity, and purpose. When either is silenced, we are cutting off a vital part of what makes us whole, leaving our lives unbalanced and our potential unrealized. When we suppress passion, life becomes mechanical. We may follow schedules, meet expectations, and make rational decisions, but without the emotional drive behind our actions, the days can feel colorless. It is possible to achieve stability without joy, to build a secure life without truly feeling alive. Suppressing passion often stems from fear. Fear of failure, fear of vulnerability, fear of the unknown. We convince ourselves that keeping emotions in check will keep us safe. But safety without fulfillment becomes a slow erosion of the spirit. Passion is what gives meaning to reason's plans, what turns tasks into missions and goals into personal victories. Without it, even success can feel empty, as though something essential is missing from the experience. When we suppress reason, life becomes chaotic. Decisions may be made purely on impulse, guided by intense emotions without consideration for the consequences. This might lead to thrilling moments in the short term, but it also increases the likelihood of regret, burnout, and instability. Without reason's steadying influence, passion can lead us into commitments we cannot sustain, challenges we are unprepared for, or directions that ultimately harm us or those we care about. Reason is not the enemy of passion, it is its protector, helping to ensure that the fire within us burns steadily instead of flaring up and burning out. To deny either of these forces is to deny ourselves the opportunity to live fully. We are not meant to choose between being purely logical or purely emotional. The richness of human experience comes from the way thought and feeling enhance and balance each other. A life led only by reason may be safe, but can feel hollow like a map without a journey. A life led only by passion may be exciting but unsustainable, like a storm without direction. True fulfillment comes from allowing both to coexist, each influencing the other in a way that brings out the best in us. In our personal pursuits, this means listening to both voices within. Reason helps us assess the feasibility of a dream, while passion helps us decide whether it is worth pursuing in the first place. Reason outlines the steps, passion provides the energy to take them. In relationships, reason guides us in resolving conflicts, setting healthy boundaries, and maintaining trust, while passion keeps the connection vibrant, heartfelt, and alive. In careers, reason ensures we make choices that align with our long-term goals, while passion ensures we remain motivated and inspired by the work we do. Suppressing either side often results in missed opportunities. Without passion, we might never take the leap that could change our lives for the better. Without reason, we might take leaps that lead us to unnecessary hardship. It is not about silencing one and amplifying the other. It is about letting them speak to each other, finding a harmony that serves both our hearts and our minds. This balance allows us to take calculated risks, bold enough to create growth, but thoughtful enough to minimize unnecessary damage. The challenge is that life often pushes us toward extremes. We are told to be practical when our dreams seem too big, or to follow our hearts without considering the practical implications. The truth lies in the integration of both messages. There will be moments when reason should take the lead, ensuring stability and safety, and moments when passion should guide us, infusing our actions with courage and meaning. The wisdom is in knowing when to let each one have its turn, and in never completely silencing either voice. Our humanity is expressed in this balance, the ability to think deeply while feeling profoundly, to make decisions that satisfy both the intellect and the soul. We are at our best when we can dream with passion and build with reason, when we can love deeply while choosing wisely, when we can pursue goals that are both meaningful and attainable. By honoring both aspects of ourselves, we step into a way of living that is not just functional but fulfilling, not just safe but inspiring, not just planned but passionately lived. Life's harmony is found when logic and love walk hand in hand. Logic offers us the clarity to see situations for what they are, to weigh options carefully, and to make decisions that serve our long-term well-being. It is the mental compass that points us towards stability, ensuring that we do not let fleeting emotions dictate choices with lasting consequences. Logic is the steady voice that helps us pause before acting, that asks the hard questions, and that guides us toward paths that are both sensible and sustainable. Without logic, we risk being swept away by temporary impulses, unable to see the full picture or anticipate the ripple effects of our actions. Love, in this sense, is not just romantic affection, but the deeper passion, compassion, and connection that make life meaningful. Love inspires us to give, to care, to dream, and to build relationships and experiences that nourish the soul. It pushes us to go beyond self-interest, to make sacrifices for what we value, and to pursue paths that may not always seem practical, but are deeply fulfilling. Love is the warmth in the journey, the emotional heartbeat that makes even the most logical plans worth pursuing. Without love, logic becomes cold and mechanical, guiding us to safe but empty destinations. When logic and love walk together, they create a balance that keeps us both grounded and inspired. Logic ensures that our love does not lead us into harm, while love ensures that our logic does not strip life of its color and joy. Together, they allow us to make choices that are wise without being lifeless, passionate without being reckless. It is the meeting point where reason's structure supports love's spontaneity, and love's vision gives purpose to reason's careful planning. In the practical sense, this harmony is visible in how we approach our goals. Love might inspire a vision for the future, but logic lays out the steps to get there. Love might give us the courage to take a leap, but logic ensures we land on solid ground. In relationships, love fuels connection and intimacy, while logic maintains respect, boundaries, and mutual understanding. In careers, love makes us passionate about the work we do, while logic keeps us strategic, ensuring that our efforts lead to sustainable growth. When one is missing, the other suffers. Love without logic can lead to impulsive actions, decisions made purely on emotion without consideration for their impact. We may follow our feelings into situations that ultimately harm us or those we care about. Logic without love can lead to isolation, a life of efficiency, but without the emotional richness that makes the effort worthwhile. We may succeed in the technical sense, but feel an emptiness that no amount of achievement can fill. Life's harmony is not about giving equal space to both at every moment, but about allowing them to guide each other as the situation requires. There will be moments when love must lead, inspiring bold moves that logic might hesitate to approve. There will be moments when logic must take the lead, protecting us from choices love might make too quickly. The skill lies in listening to both voices and knowing when to let each one speak louder. This balance also helps us face challenges with resilience. When difficulties arise, love keeps us connected to the purpose behind our efforts, reminding us why it is worth continuing, while logic helps us adapt strategies and find solutions. Love makes us patient, compassionate, and willing to endure, while logic keeps us from losing perspective or exhausting ourselves on battles that cannot be won. Together, they give us both the emotional strength and the intellectual clarity to navigate hardship without losing ourselves in despair or confusion. The harmony between logic and love is something we cultivate over time. It grows through experience, reflection, and the willingness to learn from moments when we leaned too heavily on one and neglected the other. Every mistake, every success, every turning point in life offers us a chance to refine the balance. It is an ongoing process, not a fixed state, because life constantly changes, and so do the demands placed on our hearts and minds. When we learn to let logic and love work together, we open ourselves to a life that is both deeply felt and wisely lived. We find that we can dream without losing focus, plan without losing excitement, give without losing ourselves, and achieve without losing joy. It is in this union that life becomes not only manageable, but also profoundly rewarding. A journey where the mind and the heart walk the same road, each enriching the other at every step.